This is Kuju Coffee. It's a single-use pour-over kit that sits right on top of your mug. And this is just one of 6 different ways to make coffee that we're going to rank based on their taste, cost, ease of use, and weight. And maybe not just weight, because bulk or size is a factor as well. I'll be using a 5-star method for each of these categories, with a perfect score being a total of 20 stars. So let's start off by making a cup of Kuju coffee. I bought this from REI for a total price of $14.95, and it comes with 6 servings. So right out of the gates, that's pretty expensive for some coffee. That comes out to a total of $2.49 per serving, which is only 6 cents cheaper than an 8-ounce cup of coffee from Starbucks. But let's tear this open and see how it tastes. Ooh, it smells like good coffee. It's literally just like a bag of coffee with these little there's some fold out ears on either side you can see, and I'm pretty sure you just kind of pull them apart. Yeah, it's super easy. You just have this little bag with some ears. Tear open along perforation. Oh, you just like rip it. Oh yeah, okay. So I got my green enamel mug, everybody's favorite camping, backpacking mug, the enamel mugs, and it just slides right over top. That is Kuju coffee set up and ready to go, but I just need to boil some water. I'm actually gonna move these to the side as well, just so we can see a little bit more for the video. Pour 200 degrees Fahrenheit water to the brim of the filter and repeat until 8 ounces of coffee is brewed. So we need to get some water to 200 degrees, or basically just below boiling. And yeah, I know I'm doing this inside and you shouldn't be using these sort of stoves indoors, but I think I'll be okay. My cat's looking at me like, what the heck's going on? All right, I'm gonna call that just below boiling. Handle's kind of hot. Ooh, yeah, handle's kind of hot. I might need to use my shirt here for this one. Okay, so there's not like a whole lot that goes inside there. It's okay, it goes through the filter fairly quick, which is nice, because I was afraid that I was gonna have to sit here and wait forever for this coffee to brew. Yeah, it goes through real quick. But there are some grounds that kind of collect on the sides. But then the water does it reaches the bottom of the filter, and now the filter is just kind of sitting in some water. But that is what's left of our water. That actually was super quick. I'm gonna be honest, that's faster than I thought it was gonna be to make this. I thought I was gonna be sitting here for a little while. I mean, that's all that's left of this is just, there's just a wet bag of coffee grounds sitting there. In the real world, out and actually backpacking, you're gonna be carrying your trash out, so you gotta carry this thing out, which is something to consider. We're gonna get to that. So try to get as much water out as I can, and I'm just gonna place it back inside the empty bag that this came in. That works pretty well. Look at that. Pack it out inside the bag that it came in. It smells like backpacking. It smells like waking up in the morning, making some coffee in some mountains on a lake. I want to go backpacking now. Not bad. Not bad at all. It's a little bit like thinner or lighter than I would want it to be, because I do like my coffee strong. It is good though. That is definitely a good cup of coffee. It tastes like something that you would make at home, 100%. It doesn't taste like, like a lower quality cup of coffee. Like, it definitely tastes like something that you would brew right in your house. And you know what, I can probably take back that it's kind of thin. I think right away I was expecting like a huge, full, a strong cup of coffee, but yeah, I take back what I said about this being thin, because it's not. It's good. Nice job, Kuju Coffee. That's a good cup of coffee. Obviously, there's easier ways to make coffee than this, because you just have to fold out the ears, you have to tear it open. There's a little bit more like garbage involved, and it actually went way faster than I thought. I thought it was gonna take maybe a couple minutes, but in reality, that maybe took like 30 seconds. So the weight of one of these Kuju coffee packets is 0.56 ounces or 16 grams. So if you're carrying like 4 or more days worth of coffee, this is gonna start to add up quite a bit. There's also a good amount of bulk to this. I mean, it's basically the size of my hand, and plus, after you use this, you have to pack it out, so you're left with a bag of wet grounds that's effectively adding more weight, because the coffee grounds are retaining water. So you're actually not reducing weight by drinking the coffee. In fact, you're actually gaining weight as you go on. You could probably squeeze as much water out as possible, which would be the smart thing to do, but you still have to carry a wet bag of grounds with you out in your backpack while you're backpacking. So if I were to rank this gets a 5 out of 5 on taste, a 1 out of 5 on cost, 4 out of 5 on ease of use, and 3 out of 5 on weight and bulk, bringing our total stars for Kuju Coffee to 13 out of 20. Not bad, it's honestly because this is expensive, like $15 and you only get 6 servings of coffee. It's pretty expensive. All right, as for our second one, we have coffee, hanging ear coffee filter bag. This is the same sort of method as the Kuju Coffee with the pour over ear hanging bags, but you have to bring your own coffee with because these are just the filters. I bought this off of Amazon for a price of $9.88 and you get 50 of these filters. So that's just 20 cents per serving because I mean you pay $10 one time and you get 50 of these to use for making coffee. However, I already can't quite give it 5 out of 5 stars because there are less expensive ways to make coffee while backpacking. So let's open this thing up and give it a test. It just sort of, yeah, it's literally the same exact shape as the Kuju Coffee thing. Yeah, it's literally got the ears. It's just already open on the top for you to pour your coffee in. I think I'm gonna put my coffee in first before I put it on top of my mug just so I don't accidentally get some grounds inside of it. So this is 1 tablespoon of grounds. Put that in. And now let's heat up some water to approximately 200 degrees for the sake of consistency. I might need to grab a little like oven mitt. This'll work. I can just use this. Oh, all right. I think I heated up the water maybe just like a little bit too high. Not the end of the world. Ouch, jeez, so it's hot. So same thing as Kuju Coffee, we just pour over and brew some coffee. I'm holding the sides a little bit just so we don't have any accidental spillage going on. It's draining super fast, draining just as fast as the Kuju Coffee. And this thing is like literally identical to the Kuju Coffee. Same exact thing. If you enjoy making coffee, these could be a lot of fun because it is like your own little, you got your own little drip pot right here, just in a little disposable paper filter bag thing. Like, what a cool little thing. So another thing too is if you choose to bring these with, you'll probably need to bring your own like Ziploc bag in order to put these inside because again, it's wet, full of wet grounds. I'm just gonna put it on the table for now because I don't really care. But that right there is our own personal pour over coffee, drip pot coffee, whatever you want to call it, something like that. Let's give this a taste test. Not bad. So this one, it's definitely more thin than the Kuju Coffee. The flavor of this one is going to depend on what kind of coffee you bring with. I mean, if you're bringing like super, super inexpensive coffee grounds, it's probably not gonna taste as good as like some premium coffee grounds. But what's good is that the strength is completely up to you because if you like super strong coffee, you can put a lot of coffee grounds inside of it. Like this thing would probably hold like 3 tablespoons of grounds, so you can make it super strong if you want to. Or if you don't want coffee that's that strong, you can just do what I did and put like 1 tablespoon inside of it, and you got your good coffee. Very easy to use, same exact thing as the Kuju Coffee, but I guess I would say it's like a little bit more complicated because you have to put your own grounds inside of it and carry your own grounds as well. So you could spill stuff, and you do end up with this small bag of grounds that you're gonna have to do something with while you're out on the trail. So as for the weight of this, each of these filters only weigh 0.04 ounces, so literally 1 gram. But you have to factor in that you need to bring your own coffee with, and 1 tablespoon of coffee grounds weighs roughly 0.25 ounces, or about 7 grams. So all in all, with this method, you have about 0.29 ounces per serving. And again, as for the bulk, you're gonna need to carry this thing out, and you're, again, probably gaining weight because of the water retention with the coffee grounds and the water inside this coffee filter bag. So to rank this, I give it a 5 out of 5 for taste, 4 out of 5 for cost, 4 out of 5 for ease of use, and 3 out of 5 for weight and bulk. So that brings our total stars to 16 out of 20. These are fun to use. I definitely like it. If you enjoy actually making coffee in the morning while you're backpacking, these are definitely very fun to use. I'm gonna get a lot of caffeine in with this video just because I'm gonna be continuously drinking coffee. So next up on our list, we're moving to the realm of instant coffee. And we're gonna start off with the popular brand, Alpine Start. These are super popular and I've wanted to try them for a very long time. I bought this from REI for a cost of $10 and it comes with 8 servings. So that's $1.25 per serving, which is expensive. I mean, it's instant coffee and $1.25 per serving is quite a bit of money for freeze-dried coffee. I'm actually excited to try these. I've really always wanted to try this one. Little packets of Alpine Start. Good amount of freeze-dried coffee inside there, so everything below my thumb. That right there is all coffee. So you pour one stick or one packet into the mug, add 8 to 10 ounces of hot or cold water or milk, stir well and enjoy. And okay, get all that inside there. It smells like quality instant coffee. I doubt you guys can see that. Maybe you can, I don't know. Ooh, actually smells good. It smells a lot better than just cheap instant coffee. Not bad. This got a lot of flavor for just like a small amount of instant coffee. Wow, I am actually surprised at how much flavor there is with this stuff. Like, that's a good cup of instant coffee. There's actually something to it. You know, when you drink cheaper instant coffee, which we're gonna get to next, it just feels like it's lacking pretty much everything, where this stuff actually has a good taste to it. There is just slightly that sort of like freeze-dried flavor that comes with instant coffee, but not a whole lot. You can tell that it's not like actual ground coffee. You can tell that it's instant coffee, but for instant coffee, it's pretty good. So when it comes to the weight of Alpine Start, these weigh 0.11 ounces each, or 3 grams. So it's definitely a lightweight option. And what's nice is that if you're carrying like 6 days worth of these, or like a week's worth, you're never even going to reach 1 whole ounce of coffee with the weight of Alpine Start, if you have just one of these a day. I know me personally, I'm gonna wanna have more than one per day. And also what's nice, because this is instant coffee, you're actually reducing the weight and bulk that this is, because when you're done, the coffee essentially disappears and you're left with nothing but an empty packet from Alpine Start. So as for the ranking of Alpine Start, this gets a 3 out of 5 for taste, 3 out of 5 for cost, 5 out of 5 for ease of use, and 5 out of 5 for weight and bulk, bringing our total stars to 16 out of 20. The flavor did surprise me. I know I gave it 3 out of 5, but that's just because it's got the instant coffee flavor, and you just can't compete with real grounds of coffee when it comes to instant coffee. Now we're halfway through our entire list, and continuing with the instant coffee trend, we're gonna go to Nescafe Classico. This is just cheap instant coffee, a whole container of it that you can get from pretty much any grocery store. This entire container costs $8.49, and it comes with 100 servings based off their 6-ounce cups. So it's a small cup, but that comes out to a cost of 8.5 cents per serving, which is about as inexpensive as it gets when it comes to making coffee. Granted, again, this is going off their 6-ounce cup method, which is a very small cup of coffee. And like I already said before, I'm definitely gonna wanna have more than 6 ounces of coffee in the morning. But for the sake of consistency with this video, I'm going to make it the way that they describe, because I've made each of these in the fashion that they said to do. And we'll give this a taste, see how it is. My hopes are not high. Well, let's get cooking good looking. Fire! And, ooh, it was almost a little bit too hot there. Grounds go in the mug first. Stir this up a little bit. This is 1 teaspoon of Nescafe Classico. Very small cup of coffee. I'd be sad to have only that amount of coffee in the morning. I'd be pretty disappointed. Let's give it a stir with our trusty spork. It smells like instant coffee. The funny thing is that my grandma, when she was still alive, I think she exclusively drank instant coffee. She would just heat up water to near boiling, if not boiling, in the microwave, pour some instant coffee grounds inside of it, and that's what she would have. Smells like instant coffee, looks like instant coffee. Yep, that's about what you would expect. I would be disappointed in the morning while backpacking, drinking 6 ounces of this. I mean, there is flavor. You can't say it's flavorless. It does taste like coffee. It just tastes like freeze-dried coffee and water. Like it's mainly water with some of that freeze-dried flavor. So when it comes to the weight of instant coffee, a single serving, which is 1 teaspoon, weighs only 0.04 ounces. So again, only 1 gram. I don't think there's anything lighter than using this, because all you do is just put however many scoops you want, however many servings you want inside a Ziploc bag and bring that with. And what's nice is that's how bulky it's going to be, because every time that you drink coffee, it essentially disappears and you're left with nothing but an empty Ziploc bag at the end of your trip. It's extremely easy to make. You just pour it inside a mug, put some water on top, that's it, and you drink your coffee. So as for rankings, when it comes to Nescafe Classico instant coffee, I give this a 1 out of 5 for taste, 5 out of 5 for cost, 5 out of 5 for ease of use, and 5 out of 5 for weight and bulk, bringing our total stars to 16 out of 20. You just can't contend with the cost, the weight, the ease of use when it comes to instant coffee. The only downside is that it just doesn't taste good. So for our second to last method for making coffee while backpacking, this is one that I've wanted to try for a very long time, and it's actually been on my Amazon wish list for quite a while. This right here is steeped coffee, and it's essentially a coffee tea bag. They're single-use, single-serving coffee tea bags. I bought this from Amazon for a price of $14.95, and it comes with 8 servings in the box. That brings our total cost per serving to $1.87, which is pretty expensive when it comes to coffee. Hearing $1.87 on its own doesn't sound like much, but when you pay $15 and only get 8 of these, then the cost really shows. But let's tear this open and give it a first look and give it a taste. So we've got, yeah, that's a coffee tea bag. Ooh, it smells like good coffee. Yeah, heck yeah, that smells real good. Steeped coffee, hopefully my camera's focusing on the steeped and not my face. Place the steeped brew bag in a cup and gradually pour 8 ounces of hot water over the brew bag. And then we dunk it up and down for like 30 seconds or longer if you want it to be stronger. And then we just let it sit for 5 or more minutes. It's gonna take a little while to make this coffee. Almost there. All right, that's pretty good. Place steeped inside the cup and gradually pour over 8 ounces of water into the mug. Doesn't really want to sink. It wants to float, but 30 seconds of dunking. I already spilled a little bit. And all right, so that was 30 seconds of dunking that up and down. Now it says to wait 5 minutes, so I'm gonna set a 5-minute timer on my watch here, and then we'll come back and give this one a shot. We just gotta wait a little while, which I guess that's kind of disappointing. It looks like dark, rich coffee though. I think I just got a hair in there somewhere. These make me want to go backpacking so much. 5 minutes is up. Let's take this out. It's kind of heavy. It's a heavy tea bag of coffee. And I'm just gonna put it back inside the bag that it came with. I mean, that's how you're gonna be carrying it out, right? It's inside the empty bag. That's some good stuff. That's good coffee. Yeah. It is like, it's full, there's a lot of flavor to it. It tastes, again, like something that you would make at home. Well done, steeped coffee. This gets my approval. So when it comes to the weight of steeped coffee, each one of these single serve packets weighs 0.6 ounces or 17 grams, which actually surprised me a little bit because it is a little bit heavier than the Kuju coffee. And as for the bulk, there is a lot here. I mean, again, it's like the same size as Kuju coffee, being like the size of my entire hand for the most part. And again, when you're done, you're gonna be adding more weight because these retain water and you gotta carry it out. So you've got this whole thing to carry with you. It's a wet bag of coffee grounds. So as for rankings with steeped coffee, I give this a 5 out of 5 for taste, 2 out of 5 for cost, 4 out of 5 for ease of use, and a 3 out of 5 for weight and bulk. That brings our total stars to 14 out of 20. I'm a fan, and I'll definitely be making some of that for sure. The last one that I have on this list is my personal favorite, but definitely not the easiest, the lightest, or the least bulky. This right here is an AeroPress, specifically the AeroPress Go. I bought this from REI for a total cost of $50, which is expensive, but you buy it once and you essentially have it for life. You only need to buy the replacement little disc filters, which are very inexpensive. Anyway, I can already tell you that this makes very good coffee, but I'm gonna set it up, we're gonna use it and give it a taste right now. So everything is just compacted inside this. You've got the filters inside here. This is the cup, which is cool, so we actually don't need the enamel one. Stir stick that folds, the coffee scoop, and then this here is the plunger, and this holds the coffee grounds. We're gonna take one of the filters that comes in this carry case, but you do need to get the filter wet first. So I'm gonna make this a little bit wet. Filter goes inside the little tray, and then you snap it, slide it into the bottom of the plunger. So that's what we're working with right now. 1 full scooper for a single serving of coffee. And this is a lot. Dump it inside the plunger, and then we're gonna heat up our water. And that's good. All right, just below boiling again. So we pour just a little bit in there, stir it up, and this is what is called like the bloom or whatever you're supposed to call it. Put the plunger on top, make sure it's in there secure. That holds the water and lets it brew for like 3 minutes. So I'm gonna start a 3-minute timer, and you're essentially making like espresso. You're gonna make concentrated coffee. That is the end of our 3 minutes. We're gonna plunge this thing down, pushing all of the water. It's gonna make like a hissing sound. Takes a little bit of force. Push all of that coffee out there. Every last little drop, because I don't like to waste anything out on the trail. I want as much of that coffee goodness as I can get. And there we go, that is concentrated coffee. Let's use the remainder of the water. That looks good. Didn't quite use all the water, but that's all right. And we have our AeroPress coffee from our own coffee grounds that we brought with. Oh, yeah. It's just my favorite way to make coffee while backpacking. I love that you can customize the strength. You can use the same grounds multiple times. It's just good coffee. I love me some AeroPress. So obviously this whole system isn't the lightest and the least bulky. I mean, the weight of all this stuff right here comes out to 11.8 ounces or 335 grams, which is a lot. That's nearly 1 pound in weight. And plus you have to bring your coffee grounds with, and you do need a lot of coffee grounds with this. So the whole setup in order to make coffee, we're talking like pretty close to 1 pound compared to something like this. You know, this is extremely lightweight, just doesn't taste good. This is the opposite. It's very heavy, it's very bulky, but it makes extremely good coffee. So as for rankings with the AeroPress, I give this a 5 out of 5 stars for taste, a 2 out of 5 for cost, 3 out of 5 for ease of use, and 1 out of 5 for weight and bulk. That brings our total stars to 11 out of 20. After comparing all of the rankings with these, which method outranks them all? There's actually a 3-way tie for first, and that is between the pour over coffee bags. They got 16 out of 20 stars. Alpine Start, which also got 16 out of 20 stars. And Nescafe, the plain, regular, disappointing instant coffee also got 16 out of 15. And the reason for that is basically this instant coffee it's just the cheapest, it's the lightest, and it's by far the easiest to make. Alpine Start tied with it because it has such a good flavor. The cost is a little bit too much, but it's extremely easy to use. You can pack it, it's super lightweight, there's nothing to it, and the flavor is extremely good. It just costs a little bit too much for some coffee. And then the Amazon pour over filters actually made it as well. I probably could have given this one like 15 out of 16 just because it's a little bit harder to use and harder to pack out. I maybe should have adjusted that score a little bit. So let's call these coffee filters like an honorable mention, like 3rd place, while tied for first, we've got Alpine Start and the Nescafe. My personal favorite out of all these goes to an AeroPress. I love the coffee that this makes. It tastes extremely good, but I also just like making coffee in the morning while backpacking. I don't mind carrying the extra weight or the extra time for this setup because I enjoy a good cup of coffee in the morning and I enjoy the process of making a good cup of coffee in the morning. If you're just someone who wants to get up and go without having to actually take time to make coffee, then something like these will probably be a good option for you because they're going to be the lightest and they're going to be by far the easiest to make and the fastest to make. So let me know which one of these you guys think would be the best for you, which one was your favorite. And if you have any suggestions for future like coffee related videos, maybe there's a product that I didn't see or something that you want to see tested, please let me know in the comments because I'd love more suggestions for future videos. Additionally, if you like these sort of comparison style videos comparing a bunch of products, consider supporting me on Patreon because everything that you guys support me with on Patreon will go directly to making YouTube videos like this into YouTube related projects. And if I'm being honest, buying all of this stuff for a single video adds up pretty quickly. So thank you all for watching this video. Please leave me a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching everybody, and I'll see you in my next video.